dolyar mula nung Lunes. So,
Posible
medyo...
na naman?
Oo.
Ha? Another round by next week?
Mukhang namumuro na naman. Oo.
Naku naman.
Bueno, puntahan na natin ang ating susunod na subject matter expert kasi alam naman ninyo, sabi nga nila, 2028 is the key.
Just around the corner.
Yes. Sabi ni PBBM, at tinanong siya, sino ba dapat ang maging susunod na presidente? Sabi ni PBBM, he or she should be someone who understands economics, a nation builder who wants to make the Philippines better, and who listens to experts and who loves the country.
Tsaka importante dito, Peter, competent.
Yan.
Competent, talaga in-emphasize
Pati
niyan.
track record. Makakausap po natin ang President ng Philippine Society for Public Administration and also Professor of Public Administration, University of Makati, si Dean Ederson Tapia. Dean, good morning po si Peter at saka si Danny dito sa Balitapatan. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Peter and Danny, mga respetadong mga
Naku naman.
broadcaster. Maliit pa lang ako, naririnig na ako sa inyo.
Maliit. Lagi ko naririnig yan eh. Mga maliit pa lang ako, naririnig ko na kayo. Pati yung nanay ko, naririnig ka, nakikinig sa inyo. Ganon. Salamat din, ha?
Dean, nakakasakit ka ng damdamin, ha?
Maraming salamat. Anyway.
It's good to welcome you back, Dean Tapia. So, mukhang everybody is now looking towards 2028, at iba-ibang rason. Yung iba para to propagate their reign, at yung iba naman teka, sandali, dapat
to advance their political belief. Yung mga ganyan di ba? May sarili-sarili silang, di ba?
Halos wala nang pinag-uusapan sa yung makakabuti. What do you think? Will 2028 actually offer a sign of relief for us Filipinos na ngayon talagang nakalublob sa dami ng mga issue at korupsyon?
Well, yes and no yung sagot dyan sa tanong mo, Peter, no? Kasi yes, dahil syempre magkakaroon tayo ng reset maski pa paano. Every 3 years nagkakaroon tayo ng eleksyon. Tapos ito, 6 years for a presidential election. No? So, makakapag-express yung taong bayan ng kanilang saloobin kung sino sa tingin nila yung gustong mag-lead. No, in the sense that, syempre, kung hindi man nanalo yung pipiliin natin, it's going to be more of the same. Either doon sa mga hindi natin nagustuhan sa kasalukuyang administrasyon at saka doon sa previous. And hindi pa rin natin ma-articulate yung sa tingin natin hinahanap natin sa isang gobyerno.
Pero din, since ikaw naman professor na rin dyan sa public administration at basa mo naman yung mga developments lately, meron na nagdeklara, di ba? Si Vice President Sara, last week, nagdeclare na siya na she is definitely running. Ang mga basa ng marami, parang obviously to preempt itong mga impeachment complaints sa Congress at saka itong nangyayari sa ICC, di ba? Dalawa mag-ama sila na ngayon nahaharap sa, di ba, paglilitis in the public, di ba, forum. Pero kayo ano ho ba ang tingin nyo? Will this somehow affect or ruin her chances since siya nga yun ang front runner?
Well, ang klaro dyan, Danny, is the minute VP Sara made that open declaration na tatakbo siya, she is reframing the narrative.
Okay.
Kasi ngayon, any kind of action that would be done by her so-called detractors would be read using the lenses of politika lang yan. No? So, halimbawa, itong impending impeachment trial laban sa kanya o impeachment case laban sa kanya, ang automatic response niyan from the camp of Vice President Sara, this is nothing more than politics. No? So, in that sense, kung iisipin natin, if we go by historical account, medyo risky yung early declaration kasi nakita na natin yan in previous elections. Yung mga unang nagdedeklara, hindi mga pinapalad sa resulta ng election. But in the case of Vice President Sara, nakikita ko doon, it's really a calculated move para ma-reframe yung narrative.
In the meantime, Dean, ang sinasabi nga po ng marami, sabi nga, it's different color, it's the same dog. Sa 2028, lalong-lalo na, at nakabitin pa rin yung issue ng dynasty. Number 2, party list. I mean, how reasonable is it to expect na baka naman magkaroon tayo ng reset sa 2028?
Ako, to be honest, Peter, I am managing my expectations pero hindi naman ako jaded. Ibig kong sabihin, meron pa rin naman ako nakikitang mga glimmer of hope na hindi naman everything is lost in 2028. At meron tayong mga nakitang konting spark nitong 2025 elections, no? Ngayon, if you look at the demographics, for example, the deciding factor, in my view, and based on what statistics we have right now, is it's this Genzennials, no? Yung combination ng Gen Z at saka millennials. Genzennials that will determine really the outcome of 2028. At meron silang preview nitong 2025, ha? So, it would not be advisable for anybody to discount the influence of these so-called Genzennials in 2028. At tingin ko, they're guided at their hearts are in the right place. Kaya hopeful pa din ako sa 2028, Peter.
So ibig sabihin, yung glimmer of hope, umaasa ka dun sa hanay ng mga Gen Z at saka millennials na who would somehow dominate the 2028 election. For now kasi, so nakikita mo na magkakaroon ng mga realignments, let's say, for those na mga aligned at sa mga anti-Duterte, they will try to get as much as possible a single candidate to match yung popularity rin ho at saka yung approval rating ho ni Vice President Sara.
Well, kung babasahin natin yung mga surveys and if we're good students of history, ako, ang view ko dyan is if the opposition will not rally behind a single candidate, medyo talagang tinutulungan nila yung candidacy ni Vice President Sara Duterte in 2028. Kasi we cannot deny what the numbers show right now. She's still the leading candidate. If elections were held today, malaking chance na talagang mananalo si Vice President Sara. However, hindi rin naman ako naniniwala that we're already dealing with absolutes na walk in the park na ito, tapos na yung laban. That is absolutely not true. However, magiging malaking trabaho for those who are intending to unite or to come up with an alternative to Vice President Sara.
And what do you think of yung mga bulong-bulungan ngayon na why not a BBM Lenny or Lenny BBM tandem? Is that even possible?
Well, alam mo, Peter, in Philippine politics, almost anything is possible eh. At saka yung Lenny BBM prospects, or at the very least, yung pagsuporta ni BBM kay former Vice President Lenny Robredo, nakita ko yon, ang tingin ko doon, it's a not so subtle hint of the upcoming support that is going to be given to Vice President Lenny by BBM, no? Medyo nagpapaka-subtle kunwari, pero for those of us in the know, medyo halata din natin, no? And kung ibabangga mo pa yan dun sa binabanggit mo kanina, Peter, na the next president should have knowledge in economics. Si Vice President Lenny has a degree in economics from UP. So she has to focus on productivity and structural reforms. Kung haaralin natin yung plataforma ni gobyerno ni Vice President Lenny nung naglaban sila in the previous presidential elections, a big part of it has to do with economic recovery. So, tick na naman yung box na yon. At pagkatapos, sabi pa ni BBM, dapat daw bridge builder. There's no better way of demonstrating a coalition among opposing sides than former opponents, in fact, uniting and running on the same ticket. So, it's something that is really possible, I think.
Pero with the Naga visit, di ba? Siyempre, marami talaga nagulat doon. Halos lahat ng social media, kineri yun, no? At saka yung pagsusuot ng pink socks, ha? Ang dami tuloy nagsusuot ng pink na medyas ngayon, di ba, Dean? Pero sa basa mo ngayon, kasi naman wala pa talaga siyang plano talagang tumakbo, di ba? Gusto niya tulungan pa rin ng Naga. Pero ano ang feeling mo? Siya pa rin ba ang pinaka, let's say, for now, the strongest contender against VP Sara in a one-on-one?
Ilan na Well, siyempre, we go by the numbers. And we've seen the numbers. Among all candidates, si VP Lenny pa din talaga yung pinaka strongest possible contender kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Of course, sabi nga nila, itong mga panahon na yan, it's an eternity in politics, napakatagal pa niyan. Pero for now, syempre nagkakaroon na ng projection yung mga pundits, yung mga taong nag-o-observe sa politika, and I am convinced that at this time, it's still Vice President Leni who stands the best chance of giving Vice President Sara a good run.
Oo. Linawin lang natin, Dean, yung sinabi mo na must be a bridge builder. Hindi ibig sabihin kontratista yun, ha?
Hindi naman.
Contractor?
It's a metaphorical sabi ni BBM na siyempre, paso na tayo siguro dyan sa mga infrastructure projects.
Flood control.
Okay. So, as in the experience of several countries na malapit din sa Pilipinas, Bangladesh, etc. Tama ka, maaaring yung Gen Zennials or Gen Z at saka Millennials. Yung Gen Z pa lang, yung mga 21 million na yun, Danny, and Din.
Anong age yun, yung Gen Z? 18? 18?
14 to something 20
Hindi,
plus,
basta mga
28.
kaboto na 18, di ba?
Mga ganun, oo. Kaya, ito yung mga game changers. Ito yung mga nag-cause ng uprising sa ilang mga bansa nitong nakaraang 2 taon pa lang. So we are hoping na kagaya nga po ng sinabi ni Gat Jose Rizal, ang kabataan,
ang future, ano ba?
ang pag-asa ng bayan. Ayun. So Din, maraming salamat po, and I'm sure we will be getting in touch with you again kasi
Salamat din, ha?
medyo bitin na bitin pa po tayo dito sa ating pinag-usapan. So come 2028, wag nating kalilimutan. Din, salamat po. Your last message, please.
Thank you very much again for the opportunity, Sir Peter and Sir Danny. No? So yung kanina binabanggit lang natin for the Ginzenials, they really hold the future. I'm really convinced that they really will shape the outcome of the 28 elections. Tayo naman, hindi na tayo kasali doon 3, pero we're still supportive and going to look forward to making our contribution pa din sa future ng bansa. So thank you again and good morning to both of you.
Okay.
Alright, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean.
Ayan, si the one and only Dean Ederson Tapia, President ng Philippine Society for Public Administration, Professor of Public Administration, University of Makati, or